Donald Trump built up NATO by threatening NATO. He told them, you either increase your spending or we're out of here, and if Russia attacks you, you're on your own. He made NATO stronger than it was when he came in. He made our military stronger than it was when he came in. He made our border stronger than it was when he came in. He made our alliances with our allies stronger than they were under Obama. Our enemies feared us. The reason enemies have respect for your fear is because they respect or fear that you will actually do something in response to them. Donald Trump put out a statement over the weekend that was so different from the current Biden regime that it drew the world's attention. Donald Trump is a man of peace, and peace through strength. Donald Trump is not an isolationist. He's not an interventionist, but he's not an isolationist. Under Donald Trump, we built up the United States military the way we did under Reagan, and he's acknowledged we need to build it up again because Biden has so degraded it. Communist China's on the move. Russia's obviously on the move. North Korea's on the move. Iran's on the move. Donald Trump, in the face of all of this, isn't going to say, well, you know what, we got two oceans, nobody can touch us. We're talking about hypersonic missiles. We're talking about satellites that can destroy our satellites and our GPS systems and so forth. He's well aware of all this. He was president for 4 years. And you can see through his actions over those 4 years, he took out Soleimani, nobody else would. And he hunted down ISIS. And he did what needed to be done. As a matter of fact, he gave more weapons to Ukraine, offensive weapons to defend themselves against the Russians, than Obama ever did. Obama sent them blankets and a few, frozen dinners. That was about it. So he's well aware that you cannot be an isolationist in a world like this. And the reason why you can't be is because the other side's not isolationist. You think they're over there talking about forever wars and, they're 7,000 miles away. And the truth is, Communist China is in Central and South America. Central and South America. They now have a base in the Solomon Islands, a naval base. We fought in the Solomon Islands in World War II. Guadalcanal, my great uncle fought in Guadalcanal. They now have a deep water base. For what? For aircraft carrier, that's what. They have a base on the western coast of Africa. Why would they need a base on the western coast of Africa? Because it faces the eastern coast of the United States. That's why. Why do they have the biggest navy on the face of the earth? Why is China now the biggest naval power on the face of the earth? Why do you think? Because it wants to take Taiwan? They don't need the biggest naval power on the face of the earth to take Taiwan. Why, in 5 years, will those nuclear weapon systems be more numerous and more modernized than ours? Why? Because they want to take Taiwan? No. Us. Why do you think they built these military islands in the South China Sea? They claim ownership of the South China Sea. They've never owned the South China Sea. Just because the word China's in it doesn't mean they owned it. That's international navigable waters, where about 40% of the world's economy travels. We own this. They're claiming islands off the Philippines. They're claiming navigable waters off of Vietnam. They're claiming islands off of Japan. They're threatening Australia, for God's sake. So now Australia, Japan, and the United States have built a new military alliance. Donald Trump's no isolationist. He looks in the Middle East. He sees Iran. Iran has now aligned itself militarily with Russia and China and North Korea. Wow. And that's subsequent to the Abraham Accords, where peace really was breaking out, because Joe Biden and his Marxist Islamists blew up the Middle East the way they blew up Europe. Trump has said over and over again, I would never have surrendered in Afghanistan. I would have kept that damn base, that air base, right on the border with Communist China, a massive air base that we built. Now we lost it. And all the weapons, we would have left, but we would have left under different circumstances. Is there any doubt about that? There's no doubt about it. Donald Trump built up NATO by threatening NATO. He told them, you either increase your spending or we're out of here, and if Russia attacks you, you're on your own. So 80% of the countries in NATO immediately increased their spending. He made NATO stronger than it was when he came in. He made our military stronger than it was when he came in. He made our border stronger than it was when he came in. He made our alliances with our allies stronger than they were under Obama. Our enemies feared us. We weren't attacked when he was president. There were no wars broken out when he was president. And you don't achieve such tremendous accomplishments by being an appeaser, by being an isolationist, or worse. The reason enemies have respect for you or fear is because they respect or fear that you will actually do something in response to them, not that you won't. Then we have, on the other hand, Biden. Biden, who talks and talks and talks. Oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. What did he do? First thing he does for Russia? Oh, Trump shut down your oil and gas pipeline to Germany. I'm opening it. They said, wow, what a dithering buffoon. That's fantastic. I'm not Trump. I'm lifting all the sanctions. What? And then the Russians, Putin, he amasses like 150,000 troops right on the border with Ukraine. And he says, take a little, don't take too much. And he laughs as if it's a joke. They said, oh, what a schmuck. And they invade. Then he tells the Ukrainians, for all you Putinoids with your hemorrhoids, he says, Ukraine, we're going to give you arms, but you can't actually use them to win. You can use them to defend yourselves. How do you use arms to defend yourself when on your border you have one of the most powerful militaries, or was, and they're beating the hell out of your infrastructure and your cities, and you're targeting your citizenship, your citizens? Tough to do. Then, of course, with Israel, he's been boycotting weapons that are already approved by Congress. He signed it. He's withholding them. He's not withholding funds from UNRWA, the UN organization that is partnered with Hamas in the terrorist attacks against Israel. He's not withholding funds from Iran, which Trump held them from Iran, UNRWA, the PLO, all of them. He turned the spigot on, and he won't enforce the sanctions against Iran, so Iran's making hundreds of billions of dollars selling oil to who? The communist Chinese, for God's sakes. And they're giving drones to the Russians to destroy the Ukrainians. We're funding it with our tax dollars. Trump says, no, that's going to stop. By the way, have you heard from the Iranians since Donald Trump was elected president? Have you guys heard from them? They're wetting their robes as I speak.
For more, sign up for Levin TV.